And as far as adoption or not, I've always honestly said that, it's a great thing to do. Yes. But I wanted to have my own child, which is fine enough and fair enough. And in future, if I want to adopt, I will do that. If he does ask me some questions, I will always honestly tell him the truth, which everybody knows, which is no secret at all. It's about my choice of starting a family, being a single father. In fact, once recently he asked me, "You're an actor?" Because some kid came and asked me in the park for an autograph. So he asked me, "You're an actor?" Because that kid was talking like that.
Koimoi.com.
But then it's a journey of 20 years. You have literally seen the pre and post social media era and the criticism and trolls that were magnified through that. You were criticized for even the choice of having a child. So how do you tackle that? How do you deal with that?
I was never really criticized for it. Actually, I'm surprised by this question because the
choice that you chose surrogacy over adoption.
I was never criticized. I think from the time I announced my child and I came into the world, that my child has come into this world, and I announced him with his name, etc. And I honestly said that I've taken IVF and surrogacy. The reaction was absolutely positive. And मुझे तो सब positive reactions ही मिले थे. I remember the day also I announced it, and there were articles even in the top newspapers, as if the social fabric of the country, the family system has now taken a slight change. And people are thinking more progressively, and there's an evolution in the family structure that India has, and it was all good. It was like the media, the industry, fans, they were all really, really supportive. And as far as adoption or not, I've always honestly said that, it's a great thing to do. Yes. But I wanted to have my own child, which is fine enough and fair enough. And in future, if I want to adopt, I will do that. And there's no harm in that either. But everyone has a right to start a family of their own the way they want to, like how everybody does. Like, they have kids of their own. And sometimes people adopt also. Both ways, I think it's fine, and no one can tell somebody what to do. So I think that logic applied to me also. And मुझे तो किसी ने पूछा भी नहीं कि आपको criticize किया गया, because there was so much euphoria in a positive way, which really proved that India is so liberal. India is so forward in its thinking, and it's so morally, socially, culturally responsible, yet very progressive and very contemporary.
But then how do you explain Laksshya? How do you explain him that he's born into this mass popular family? Does he ask you questions?
No, I don't need to explain anything to anybody about Laksshya. I've said honestly that to him, no, he's a very content, very happy, very sorted child. He has never asked me anything regarding the family structure, etc. For him, it's all very, very normal, because I've always given him unconditional love. And he's if he does ask me some questions, I will always honestly tell him the truth, which everybody knows, which is no secret at all. It's about my choice of starting a family, being a single father, which is because I love him as a child, and I would love kids, and I wanted to have a child of my own. So he's born out of love. He's born out of unconditional love. So बच्चों को उतना ही चाहिए, उससे ज्यादा उनको कोई explanation देने की जरूरत नहीं होती है. They are not really into portraying to the world that, okay, this is how the family should be like, or that is how the family should be like. They are pretty innocent in that sense, and they just want to be happy, which I'm keeping my fingers crossed he is.
Actually, I was asking you about the popularity. He's born into a very popular family.
Oh, that way.
About that aspect. Tell me, how do you explain that to him?
He's not really
follow him everywhere.
He's not really aware of being born in a Bollywood family. He hasn't watched Bollywood movies yet. In fact, once recently he asked me, "You're an actor?" Because some kid came and asked me in the park for an autograph. So he asked me, "You're an actor?" Because that kid was talking like that. Yeah. So he's just beginning to understand it, but he's quite unaffected. When the media come and all, I'm sure he's okay with it, but he doesn't really take it too seriously when there are paparazzi outside our house or they click pictures. He's quite cool with it, whether they're there, whether they're not there. I think that's how we should expose our kids very normally, that, okay, this is part of the life. If they'll soon realize that this is part of the professional lives of his family members, and it comes part and parcel with that. And it's nothing great to have people clicking you. Neither it is something to get very nervous or worried about. No one is judging you. No one is. So I think they become strong when you leave it open to them. And if there are any questions, we will be there to answer those questions as professionally as possible, because it is part of our profession.
That's true. Tell me, what's the plan for next 20 years? Is there a plan?
Next 20 years?
Yes. We are standing on a milestone. The next, tell me, what's that?
I don't know. I've never planned my life. I hope I get to do as I have done in the last 20 years. And people ask me, if they ask me that, are you happy with the 20 years of yours in the industry? I said, I'm so happy that I wouldn't mind duplicating it in the next 20 years, and then it become 40 years.
Wow.
So the idea is to be part of good films, to have good hit blockbusters that everybody in the audience likes. The idea is to have good performances. The idea is to always be, in the audience's minds, whether it's on satellite television, whether it's on the OTT, whether it's in cinemas, and just keep the fire burning and never age as far as your work is concerned. You can age in every other way, but as far as your work ethic is concerned, as far as your ambitions are concerned, one must never age. That is what my aim is going to be for the next 20 years.
That's amazing. And as a producer?
As a producer, I'll take it one film at a time. I'm not going to be doing more than that, because I don't believe in getting a production house out. I won't even have the time for that. With my son and with my acting assignment, I can't become a producer. So I'm going to be just taking it slow and steady, and miles to go before I sleep.
Koimoi.com